What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some chalk gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about the Striker 810. Is this the most balanced shotgun in Rogue Company? Let's head over and check it out. So the reason that this video inevitably came up was because I kept seeing more and more people using the Striker 810, and I was like, maybe they did some kind of like passive buff to it or something like that, something that I didn't know about, and that I could tell that it was beaming. Like, whenever shotguns were first kind of a thing in the game, whenever they started reworking and redesigning everything, the Striker 810 was pretty much the go-to shotgun for everybody because it was very consistent with its damage output. It was easy to use. It was a fully automatic shotgun, which, I mean, made things 10 times better, right? Whenever you're trying to run a shotgun. But this is one of those weapons that a lot of people kind of migrated towards. And then as they slowly tweaked shotguns more and more, it felt like it was less impactful on the battlefield over some of the other shotguns that we currently have. So as you can see here, this is the Striker 810 uncommon stats. This is just border baseline shotgun that you get. And as you can see here, the body damage is 52, the range is 6.5, the mag size is 8, the fire rate is 3.57, the handling is 23, and the reload time is 2.47. Now, the thing that we need to kind of take into consideration here is the range. If we look at the range compared to the rest of the shotguns, the RB's 9, the S12 is 8, and the SKL 6 is... This does have the shortest range of all the shotguns, but that starts to change as you upgrade it. So whenever you get to that rare upgrade, it changes that range from 6.5 to 8.5. If we look at some of the other shotguns, the Arbitrator doesn't change. The Striker changes at the legendary upgrade for that. The SKL 6 doesn't change. So as you can see, like, it does at baseline uncommon level. To me, this feels like the perfect shotgun in the way that it should perform. So the Striker has that 6.5 range, and it really feels like it is very high risk, very high reward, even though that it is an automatic shotgun, even though it has a pretty decent spread on it and it allows you to get more headshot damage whenever you're approaching someone. That uncommon level for this weapon does feel like it is kind of where all of the other shotguns need to realistically be balanced around. And in my opinion, it doesn't need to exceed a range of 7 on any of the shotguns. And most of them start out at base at 8 or 9, except for the Striker. So to me, it feels like, yes, the shotguns can feel busted. Yes, the shotguns can feel broken. Whenever you're in that close quarters combat situation, when you're within like 2 or 3 meters of someone, the shotgun should feel substantial. That is an absolute given. Shotguns should feel substantial in that range. But anything outside of like 5 to 7 meters should not feel substantial whenever you're being shot by it. It should feel like you were being tickled by a shotgun. It should not be that impactful on the battlefield, and it should like give you that idea of like, okay, do I want to play more aggressive and I want to close that gap with the enemies, or do I want to play a little bit more reserved and play a little bit further away and kind of use a submachine gun or an assault rifle at that point? The shotguns really don't have any drawbacks to using them, especially if you use something like the S12 or the Arbitrator because of the range on it. Like, you can still basically snipe someone with the shotguns in Rogue Company. And I know that it doesn't feel good, and nobody honestly enjoys that aspect of it, especially whenever you can upgrade some of them to get a range of 10 and you're doing very consistent damage output at that range. It doesn't feel good to play against at all, because if you're at like 12 health and you know that the person in front of you has a shotgun and you kind of get away from them and you make that gap a little bit further, they can still poke out of cover and just wildly hip fire and probably down you, just because of the way that the bullet damage works and the range of the shotguns work. In my opinion, what they should do if they want to balance all the shotguns is they need to go in and they need to reduce the range of all the shotguns and have the baseline range be at like 4 or 5. And if you want to increase the upgradable range for it, then I would increase it no more than 7. Like, that should be the cutoff point. It should be at 7 for all shotguns. And then if you want to tweak the damage numbers based on that value, then that's fine. But you shouldn't be able to upgrade a shotgun to a range of 10 and have it do full damage at that range and then slowly trickle off. But it's weird the way that the shotguns are programmed. So the range is going to make the damage trickle off, but if you hit more pellets into that long distance range, then actually it's going to be doing around the same amount of damage. It's kind of a weird situation, and I know shotguns are hard to balance. I get it. I completely understand that. But if you're going to have shotguns in your game, then you need to realistically go in and look at how shotguns act in the real world versus how shotguns act in your game. And you need to be able to go in there and make some tweaks and changes to them. That's just the way that it is. Like, nobody wants to run a shotgun meta. And luckily, the shotguns, in my opinion, are good enough to run a shotgun meta, but luckily for us, the community hasn't decided that it wants to run a shotgun meta at the moment. So there's that, you know, and not to mention that most of the tournaments that have happened in the past up until the most current tournaments don't allow anybody to use shotguns. So if that doesn't tell you something, then I don't know what does. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that the Striker is the most balanced shotgun in Rogue Company? And do you think that they should kind of use the blueprint of the Striker 810 as a way to balance the rest of the shotguns around to make it more in line as to this high risk versus high reward weapon? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Control. Lethal out. Hill controlled. Hill controlled.
Utility out.
Hill control. You all made that look easy.
Shock one up for the good guys.